Paul, do you think we could counter-sing if you sang Barrett's Privateers and I sang a parody of it? Do you think we could both be singing, but be singing different words?
At the same time?
And see how far we could get.
Like back and forth or at the same time?
Oh, back and forth would be a lot of fun. They want us to sing them together, like simultaneously, but I'm singing a completely different...
You're seeing the
so
Garnet's Homemade
Twinkle
yeah.
ABCs sort of situation.
Yeah, which I think would be trouble, but I think we could do it back and forth, trading line for line, as long as I need my lines up so I could follow along too. And I don't know how we do the call and response parts, but...
For this, I mean, I know the lyrics to Barrett's Privateers, but in this case, if we're jumping around, I'll probably want the lyrics for that as well.
Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. I can probably find Garnet's Homemade Beer lyrics, and then if we can get you the Barrett's Privateer ones. We have a video that we're setting. So, on the call and response part, your line is "How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now."
Right.
And mine's going to be "How I wish I'd never tried it now." But if the way this is sung...
Do you each need a backup singer to sing the call and response?
Well,
part?
the thing I'm worried about is, like, if you sing the first line, I have to sing the response, but I have to sing my response line.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but
hopefully we'll kind of be swapping back and forth because there's 5 lines in the chorus.
I don't know how this
is a long song.
Yeah.
And we're doubling the length.
Well, not technically. We're doing this. It'll be the same length. It'll just be that I'm trading a line. So because you do line 1, I'll do line 2 of my song. Let's just see how far we can get.
Sure.
Can we get through the chorus?
Line 2 is the recurring.
Yeah,
line.
line 2 is the recurring line.
And then what did we do for the chorus?
And on the chorus, we just keep trading back and forth. So I'll take line 5, you take line 5, I take line 6, you take 7, I take 8. And then you take 9. You're singing every odd line, essentially.
Maybe a good suggestion, too. You could do it verse by verse rather than line by line.
Oh, we could do that, too.
So
it just means that then...
match.
But it means that then when we go to the next verse, that then I'll have the first line.
5. Yeah, they're all 5, so it's odd numbered, so it should alternate.
Yeah. So I think we could try it. Let's see. Let's get through verse 1, the chorus, and see if it works through verse 2 or not.
All right, so we're doing the alternating lines?
Yeah, we'll alternate lines. I think that'll be a lot easier.
All right. I guess we'll do bust them all,
Yes.
Sure.
which I'll probably forget. All right. Oh, the year was 1778.
How I wish I'd never tried it now.
A letter of marque came from the king.
By the scummiest ale you've ever seen.
Bust them all, I was told.
This beer was worth its weight in gold.
We'd fire no guns, shed no tears.
But it's a foolish man who shows no fear.
The
Last of Barrett's privateers.
Oh, Garnet Rogers, cried the town.
How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
420 brave men, all masochists who
Would make for him the Antelope's crew.
bust them all. I was told
we'd cruise the seas for American gold.
we'd feel no pain, shed no tears.
Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier.
And a glass of Garnet's homemade beer.
The Antelope sloop was a sickening sight.
How I wish I'd never tried it now.
She'd a list to the port and the sails in rags.
Eat a hard-boiled liver with the staggers and jags.
Bust them all, I was told.
This beer was worth its weight in gold.
We'd fire no guns, shed no tears.
But it's a foolish man who shows no fear.
The last of Barrett's privateers.
Well, we hadn't been there but an hour or two.
How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
When a voice said, give me some homemade brew.
Pumping like madmen all the way.
Bust them all. I was
told we'd cruise the seas for American gold.
we'd feel no pain, shed no tears.
Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier.
And a glass of Garnet's homemade beer.
On the 96th day we sailed again.
How I wish I'd never tried it now.
When a bloody great Yankee hove in sight.
He said, pass that jug or I'll tan your hide.
Bust them all. I was told
This beer was worth its weight in gold.
we'd fire no guns, shed no tears.
But it's a foolish man who shows no fear.
The last of Barrett's privateers.
Stan took one sip and pitched on his side.
I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
Garnet was smashed with a gut full of dregs.
But the catcher took her to the end.
Two days.
Bust them all.
I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold.
We'd feel no pain, shed no tears.
Now
I'm a broken man on a Halifax
And
pier.
a glass of Garnet's homemade beer.
the Barrett's private. You've jumped forward.
Yeah,
Like,
there's less verses.
There's less verses in that. Because I was like, everything was lining up until you got to that verse. I was like, wait, that's not the verse there. Okay.
Yep.
So you're gonna what are we gonna do when you run out?
I think it just ends.
I'll sing the rest of the song with you
All right.
guys. Yeah.
Like we stood 2 cables away.
How I wish I'd never tried it now.
A cracked 4-pounders made an awful din.
On the night before my wedding day.
Bust them all. I was told
This beer was worth its weight in gold.
we'd fire no guns, shed no tears.
But it's a foolish man who shows no fear.
The last of Barrett's privateers.
Is it us now?
It's
You,
just
it's
a-
you guys,
It's
yeah.
just forever?
Yep.
Oh, you've run out.
Oh,
I've run
Okay.
out of verses.
Alright.
We win.
The antelope shook and pitched on a side.
I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
There it was smashed like a bowl of eggs. The main truck carried off both me legs.
Must bust them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.
So here I lay in my 23rd year.
I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
It's been 6 years since we sailed away, and I just made Halifax yesterday.
Must bust them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's homemade beer.
That was very dumb.
It's I mean, I remember I've sung that with you on a previous Desert Bus.
Yeah.
Gardens, and I'm always impressed by like how closely it actually matches.
Yeah.
Like it's
Tries to keep the rhymes intact, like
Tries
carried
to
off
keep-
both me
yeah.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Except obviously they've skipped like 3 verses.
Yeah, it's like it's good because a lot of song parodies are very good when, or at least pastiches or whatever, are really good when you can get in, make your point with the joke, and then get out.
Yeah.
But this would be fun to do if it was like a randomizer for all the different parodies that have ever been done of Barrett's Privateers.
Is it? Are there like a bunch?
There's a few very randy ones, is what I've been told.
Oh.
But there's some other
not
ones.
Desert Bus appropriate ones.
There's a
Little
thing
bit of
about-
hanky panky.
There's a whole thing about I was told we'd cruise the seas for American boys.
That doesn't rhyme.
No,
My,
it doesn't. But yeah.
My
American olds.
my parents took a trip to the sort of East Coast, and they were in Halifax for a while, and saying, did you find were there any people standing around on Halifax piers, looking sad? Apparently
Guy with
that's
no legs?
Apparently that's a real problem there. That you have to be careful.
Your legs just come right off.
Yeah.
Like long legs.
But I don't know. I always
Distract.
whenever my favorite instance of that song is always I always talk about, but the great show Due South,
Oh yeah.
which is I think it's a Canadian show, even though it's supposed to be set in America, which is probably actually filmed in Toronto or
I
something.
think
they
it's
showed
just a lot of Canadian fans.
because they showed it on CBS.
Yeah, well, and it's starring Callum Keith Rennie and
All gross.
Paul Gross, two Canadian actors. But anyway, it's about a Canadian RCMP guy and a I think a Chicago cop or something, and they're an odd couple. And
It's not The Odd Couple.
No.
they're partners, and then blah blah blah. But anyway, there's a great episode where there's a smuggling operation, so they're at the docks, and they're sneaking. The Callum Keith Rennie's cop is sneaking on board this ship to try to find evidence, and Paul Gross is down in the galley with the sailors and talking to them, and the guy up investigating stuff knocks something over and makes a noise, and the sailors go, "What's that?" And so Paul Gross goes, "Oh, the year was 1778." And now I get so excited to sing along that they forget about the.
Which I'm sure is a very the joke is obvious, but if you're unaware of the song, you'd be like, oh yeah, of course the sailors would know. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So I have very important news for you all.
Mm.
After drinking the fruit punch Slurpee, my tongue is almost the same color as my lipstick.
Fantastic.
But you can't see because the camera's too far away and I'm not climbing on a table for that.
Has my tongue turned purple?
No,
Okay.
it's not
Visibly.
colored.
Good.
Boomer's got that Muppet mouth now. Just like solid color.
Full of hair.
Kind of felty, yeah.
The other thing, the other story about Barrett's Privateers. The story goes that Stan Rogers was touring with a group called the Friends of the Fisherman's Green. Friends of the Fisherman's Green, who sang a lot of shanties. But they were quite experienced shanty singers, and so they always were leading the shanties, doing the main part, and he was doing the responses. And so he wrote Barrett's Privateers so that there was a song that they wouldn't know. so he could sing the lead on it.
Totally fair.
Yeah.